following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Alrighty then. I guess that's what's going to happen tonight. Welcome in to Richmond Raceway as we get ready to go racing tonight. It is race number 7 of the Sim500 811, North Carolina 811 specifically.org Xfinity Series. Round number 7 here from Richmond Raceway tonight. Going to be hot, going to be slick. And, I mean, there's a chance it could be as wild as the race we just watched an hour ago, but we'll see. Big shoes to fill there, I'd say, right? But either way, short track racing on a Sunday night. Going to be a lot of fun here tonight as we get ready to go for 140 laps. We watch Wesley Donaldson go spinning across the screen and so on and so forth. But before we go any further, of course, last week we were at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. You saw the finish there in the intro video with Wesley Donaldson going to victory lane. Of course, all of his good luck would run out in the Daytona 500K race on Monday night when he was involved in one of the first cautions. But needless to say, he's got some momentum right now. One of the hottest drivers in the circuit. He sits there 10th in points. Does Wesley. He is all of 57 points behind the point leader right now, Mac McMillan, who has got 2 wins early this season. Mike Kelly right there. Anthony Calantone's had a great season so far. Stephen Miles, Chad Coleman, right now your top 5. Braxton DeWeese there in 6th. With Gonzalez, Simley, Gillenwater, and Donaldson, your top 10 as we enter tonight's race. Now looking down here at the grid, you see 16 drivers get in. So basically where Nelson Rivera is right now, that is your bubble line. Josh Parker 2 points out, so is Doug Sigmund. Now there's no stipulations or anything like that other than drop weeks that are included in this specific series. Where the Cup Series, you cannot miss more than 4 races. Here, you can start as many as you need, just get to the 16th points position, and you will get in to the playoffs, and that will continue on through week number 20, which, believe it or not, it's only 13 races away already here in the Sim500 NC811.org Grand National or Xfinity season, as it has been changed to. And I want to bring up the hottest driver of the circuit right now. Wesley Donaldson joins us. Wesley, obviously, we just watched you go spin-a-rooney there on the front straightaway, but needless to say, you take out the Daytona 500K last week, and you have one of the hottest track records going in Sim 500 right now. Can we keep it going tonight on a short track?
We're definitely gonna try. This place seems to be a little bit of a challenge tonight with the way the track temp is and everything, with really tight kind of on the entry and middle of the corner, and then just sliding a whole bunch on exit. Yeah, I tend to do well here, but we'll try our best to put it right back up front where we've been lately.
Yeah, you talked about the weather, kind of a little mix up in the weather tonight. Usually it kind of goes up and down temp wise, but tonight it's going to stay constant, kind of an old school iRacing thing that was just mixed up, it looks like, and going to keep the track temp rate about the same the whole entire time. So do you see any kind of changing with potentially the rubber on the track, maybe making it looser or even tighter?
I think we'll still definitely see a little bit of changing there. Just doing some practice. It looks like the middle lane does work a little bit too, so I'd imagine as the race goes on, you might see still a little bit of movement. It's not like it's going to stay the same the whole
Right.
time. but it just won't be maybe not as drastic as it would be normally with the dynamic sky.
Well, obviously, you've been on a roll in that WBD diecast car, and of course, you're one of the sponsors of this series. So why don't you go ahead and talk for a second about what WBD diecast is?
Yeah, WBD diecast. Well, it started as just an Instagram page where I was posting my diecast collection, but then I got into making custom diecasts. So I make custom diecast for any of like real life NASCAR paint schemes that don't get made, or any iRacing paint schemes. I can do little 164 scale cars. I can do the bigger 124 scale. Pretty much anything you want, from Cup Series down to ARCA, and even some late model stuff now that those diecasts are out. So if you ever need anything as far as your iRacing paint scheme or anything else like that, just hit me up. You can find me on Instagram at WBD Diecast, on Facebook at WBD Custom Diecast. Yeah, I think that's about it.
There you go. You can also just reach out to me, and I can get you connected with the man too. So, Wesley, appreciate your time, buddy. Best of luck here as you got a couple minutes for qualifying, and maybe we'll see you in Victory Lane again tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
All right, buddy. You too. Wesley Donaldson, of course, the winner last week at Atlanta, and won pretty much everything at Speed Weeks there was to count outside of the Daytona 500. But the guy who won that race is the man that found a way to sweep both the Xfinity and Cup Series races last couple weeks at Daytona. So you wonder, Mike Kelly, obviously Turn 1 Hero Speedway down in Daytona looks pretty good right now. Can we do the same at Richmond tonight?
We'll see. We got a little bit different animal on our hands tonight, but finally got a decent qualifying lap right there. So maybe I can get up close to the front, which is pretty pivotal here. Track positions, everything on this track. Then you got to keep it, not get shuffled to the back through pit strategies or whatever. It's hard to get back up to the front, hard to pass. So should be a wild one tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned only 140 laps tonight, so it's kind of a shorter distance race.
Yeah, there's no time to mess around, and unfortunately, track position is going to be key, I think. I could be wrong, but based on practice, with as slick as it is and the high side being decent, it's going to be tough to pass. So we'll see what happens. It's Richmond.
All right, buddy.
Short track.
I like it. Go run a good qualifying lap, bud.
Thanks, man. Have a good broadcast, and hopefully I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. That is Mike Kelly, Turn 1 Heroes, as he gets ready to go qualify right now, as the cars will go on to the racetrack for qualifying, which is, of course, presented by 811. No, it's below. Call before you dig. So who's going to be the first one to tackle this 3/4 mile D-shaped oval built back in the 1940s, originally as a dirt track, then it became a half-mile oval, and then back in 88 they decided to make it a D-shaped oval, and that's what we've had ever since. And it looked like Larry Pace is going to be the first one to get himself a lap here. So let's get to the Canadian driver and check out how he's doing out here in this number 50. Up there running the high side, going to kind of throw away this lap, I believe, as he'll cross the start-finish line there. 23:34, but of course that's going to be kind of a throwaway lap here. Let's see what he does on lap number 2. About gets the wall, which is very treacherous there, that turn 2 wall. You can call it Calamity Corner if you want. As McMillan right now on the pole, Larry Pace goes second, 23:051. That is Kevin Stone up there in third with a 10. A 23:14 for Stoney Benfield, Eric Arnold with a 17. And right now it's McMillan, the only car to go into the 22-second bracket. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Let's check out Braxton DeWeese in the 5 car. Top 5 in points right now. Doy Woods, 23 flat, but still nobody until Mike Kelly, 22.98. He ran the same lap as McMillan. He's probably going to wonder where the heck that came from. Tyler Dalton to the front at 22.97. As Braxton goes fourth, 22.96. And now we're starting to see the 22s get laid down here. Who else we got out there that could run themselves something? Let's go to Brian Macklin. Doesn't have to answer the question anymore about when you will not win, when you will win that 4th Daytona 500K in a row. Unfortunately, he fell up short in that journey, but congratulations still to be able to do 3 in a row. Very impressive as the 30 car crosses the line. He's 20th right now on the grid, but still got 1 lap to go. And is he going to call it one? No, he just like he was going a lot slower through 3 and 4 there. Yes, he will cross the line. As here is Stephen Miles. Kevin Brown going up to P7. Miles is tight through the corners. You can see it. This might be a throwaway lap for him because I'm noticing as he completes lap 1 right there. EJ O'Rourke, 23 flat. Goes P10. Miles, I talked to you during the week. He said, man, this track was tricky. And now with the standard weather tonight, you're not going to see much change. Whatever you got is what you got here tonight. As Miles crosses the line, 17th, 23-13. So unless something changes here in the next minute, got 2 cars on the track. Alan Wild here in the NC811 number 15 car. And he slots in down in 31st. 23.45. He's going to be one and done. Wortman, 23.40. So Tyler Dalton going to win his 3rd pole in a row here for Sim500's Xfinity Series. Congratulations to him on adding on to his career pole total, which is a lot. You might ask how much a lot is. That is 192 career poles for Tyler Dalton after tonight. So congratulations to him as he is on his way to 200. Probably will be there by a week or 2 from now with how much Sim500 normally races. So Tyler Dalton, 3 straight poles, and we'll step away and get you your national anthem and then come back and get you 140 laps of racing from the Richmond Raceway on the Captain Esports Network.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, back with you here at the Richmond Raceway. Tyler Dalton winning the 811 Pole Awards. Congratulations to him. I want to bring him up really quickly before we talk to, or before we go racing here. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right, man. Last time you started on the pole at a track like this was Phoenix, and we all know the frustration you went through off of turn 2. How do you keep that from happening again?
I don't know. You might see a repeat here. I'm not very fond of this track, and Honestly, not sure where that lap came from. I about lost it there in turn 1 on lap 1. And went out there on lap 2, spun the tires, really was spinning them off both corners and didn't really lift, and it stuck. So put up a good lap, but we'll see how we are in the long run.
All right, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton. Well, I see one thing he's already done different. He's taking a top side. So that's one thing that's already done different here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Get to the racing info in a second. Dalton and Mike Kelly on row number 1. Row 2, Mac McMillan, Braxton DeWeese. Row 3, Randy Oakham, Scott Simley, Kevin DeBrown, Larry Pace, John Schweikert, and EJ O'Rourke in row number 5. Doy Woods, JP Phillips taking row number 6. Row 7, Bob Gillenwater, Kevin Stone, Matthew Martell, and Jason Carlavage, Stephen Miles, Stoney Benfield. Non-related, Jimmy and Chad Coleman. Row 10, Eric Arnold, Robert Fryery III, Brian Macklin, Charles Van Schaik. There in row number 12. Row 13, Brent Scott and Jose Gonzalez, Nelson Rivera, Wesley Donaldson, Mike Montesi, Brian Wortman, Alan Wild, Anthony Calantoni back in 32nd, Glenn Campbell, Justin Fuller, Richard Beasley, Justin Reynolds, Sean Burke, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, your 39 starters. That will start the race, and I notice my graphics are off again after I fixed them. Oh well. 78 degrees, 45% humidity, 140 laps in this 130-degree track temp. 3 sets of tires, 2 overtimes, and a partridge and a pear tree. As we come to the green flag for 140 laps as Tyler Dalton takes the outside lane. It's race 7 from Richmond. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Dalton, unlike the Phoenix race where he and Mike Kelly came together on lap 1, leads the first lap. Of course, in that race, Dalton lost a lot of track position, never got a chance to lead a lap that night or that afternoon. It turned into a pretty wild race as Braxton DeWeese up to 3rd, McMillan up to 4th, Scott Simley, who, by the way, last time we got one car spinning. Jose Gonzalez in the back, along with Robert Fryery, has gone around. Eric Arnold also getting some damage back there into 31. Caution out quickly. Let's see what happens. Eric Arnold gets a little tap from the 77. And they both go around. I didn't see where Gonzalez gets involved here. Oh, and Charles Van Schaik nowhere to go. Runs slapping Arnold. The spin's going to happen right here in front. I don't know why it said Gonzalez. Okay, maybe it just went down to the track. But Gonzalez not involved. So apologies for scaring him. But it looks like Charles Van Schaik, Gerald Livingston, or I should say Charles Van Schaik, the 31 of Eric Arnold, involved in this, along with the 77 of Robert Fryery, the first caution on the track here early. The last time we raced at this Richmond Raceway in Sim500, or at least the last time we were here for a broadcast, was the Cup Series last season, where Scott Simley showed up and showed out in this race. And Scott's there in the 5th position. Yeah, I can't help it. Let's give a second, bring him up here. And can he do it again tonight? As we're under caution real quickly, let's ask him. Scott, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, buddy. So last time we were here on the Cup side, you went to victory lane, and what some might say was kind of an upset, but you earned it and went and did your thing. Can we do it again tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the car doesn't feel anywhere near that did that night, but we're gonna give it our all. Not real comfortable in the car, even though we laid down quite a few laps in practice. But yeah, you're gonna watch it. I mean, you got to watch it in straights too. This thing could, bite and turn to the outside walls. So we'll see what we can do.
All right, buddy. Best of luck here tonight.
Thanks.
Scott Simley, ready to go. So get him down to turn 1 and get the green flag back out. That was just simply a misjudgment there, it looked like, between the 31 and 77 as Dalton leads him back to the green flag into the Geico restart zone. We're back at it. McMillan, good restart on the outside lane, going to jump to second. Brian Wertman just getting out of pit road, maybe getting a top off of fuel. Sometimes just going slow sometimes at this track is going fast. The slower you go, the faster you go when it's all over with. When you got a worn out surface like the Richmond Raceway, you're going to see the high groove come into play, and you just got to be very careful. Turn 2, as I mentioned earlier, is Calamity Corner. The late great Ken Squire once said, he said it about Daytona's turn 4, but turn 2, that wall just comes back up to you, and it literally can destroy your car if you misjudge it. Right there, it comes out there, just reach that right there. You go, there's a contact from Chad Coleman, more contact from that was either Fuller or E.J. O'Rourke. As we're on board with the faster pastor down to turn 1. Chad Coleman at 38 trying to make some moves. You see Stephen Miles in that battle. Also Kevin Stone in front of him. Jason Karlavage, as they are 3 wide almost up here. Roy Woods trying to open up the track a little bit there. A couple cars getting loose. The one of Schweikert. I mean, they're and EJ's up in the EJ groove, literally trying to open this track up. Looks like the track got cleaned off a little bit, because I was seeing a very dark strip of rubber being laid down throughout practice, and now it looks pretty clean. But with 40 or 35 cars out, make that 39 cars out here on track. Not going to take long to lay that strip back down, and not only that, but spread it out amongst the track. You're going to see the track probably move up when it comes to having the most grip, be able to get around the corner. And I think at some point here, about halfway, you'll probably see this track become 2 or 3 grooves. Randy Oakham here in the 8 car having a good start to his race here in the 8th position. The Virginia 811 car. Getting some pressure from Schweikert there as you see O'Rourke continue to roll that top side as Dalton leads by about 2/10 right now over Mac McMillan. So the track temp is moving, by the way. I was wondering with the constant weather that was put on here by accident or whatever. Track temp now up to 135 degrees. So that means this track's just getting slicker right now. Sun's out. It was a pretty toasty day in the Commonwealth as O'Rourke up there in the EJ lane. Somebody, oh, we got cars down the apron here, scattering back here. Not sure if somebody got loose, but good catch. Stoney Benfield back there with Fuller and Wesley Donaldson, Calantoni. Appreciate the viewers who have checked in here so far this evening on a Sunday. Obviously, work for most people tomorrow. Vacation over for me on Tuesday. Back to work I go. But obviously, always appreciative for you guys to spend some time on your Sunday nights here with us. If you're cheering on a driver or just love watching sim racing or any kind of racing in general. Oh, Glenn Campbell's turned it sideways over here in turn 2. No caution. Break for the 44. I don't see any damage. What happened to him, though? The man behind Trans Servers being a part of this series. Down on the turn. Oh, and Alan Wild gave him a little bumpy bump, and Arnold polished him off as Campbell locked it down. Both of them lost rear bumpers and all in that. But no cautions. We stay green. Up front, here comes Mac, the Phoenix winner. And you could say Phoenix is a lot like Richmond. Braxton DeWeese only about 8 tenths of a second back, and then Mike Kelly there in the 4th position. Dalton able to hold him off for now. Let's check on EJ O'Rourke back here. He's trying to get under Randy Yoakum now for the 8th position. Right with this unit's Supra. Down to almost 80 miles an hour. Rolls back to the throttle like a diamond almost there in turn 1. That's Brian Wortman going to bring the 74 to pit road. Was hearing a lot of drivers talking about much like real life you get here at Richmond, and the cars just want to spin the tires on the straightaway. You're almost not even full throttle, especially in the bend here of this front stretch. A little unknown fact for those curious. If you notice, coming out of turn 4 here, the start finish line is more closer to turn 4 at Richmond than it is turn 1. Right there, you see you come out of 4, the start finish line, you go sweeping all the way down to turn 1. You might wonder why that is. Well, back when this track was redone back in '88, the start finish line was where it is now. And they decided, you know what, instead of moving the start finish line to where the center of the front straightaway is, they said, let's just keep it where it's at. Hence why the start finish line sits where it is on the 3/4 mile Richmond Raceway. Three cars now battling for the lead here. McMillan been trying to get around that 19. You're seeing how tough it is to pass. Dalton been able to hold him off right now. He is there on the outside. Dalton gives him room. He's got him. Mac McMillan to the lead. Deweese going to follow him to second. Is tonight Braxton gets win number 1. He's going to the bottom now for the lead. You just see that car skating through 1 and 2. by the way, I believe, does Mac have the sponsor? I think he sure does. Mac went to work, in case you didn't see the broadcast last Sunday night at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mac wasn't there, but there was a gentleman in here that was interested in putting some sponsorship on the car. And, well, what do you know? Bully Dog Coffee is sitting on the 88 car now and leading this race. Congratulations to the both of them of getting the sponsorship worked out. But Mac up here in front. All right, while it's calm for about 3 seconds here, we're going to step away and hear a word from 811. Come back and get you more racing here from Richmond on the Captain Esports Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Back we are. And Braxton going for the lead here. I just shared the timing and scoring, by the way, for those in the chat. So you guys can see who's running where. But as I see in chat, Chris DeWeese clearing up that it's on the back of the 5 car too. So either way, we got coffee cars up front. Let's check back here. Is JP Phillips under attack? As EJ going to go by for the 9th position. Wonder how much EJ has torched those tires. Ooh, who hit the wall back there a ton? This track is starting to open up and the times are falling off. We've lost almost a second and 3/4 in 35 laps of this race. Makes you wonder, when do you come to pit road? Do you go 70 and come at the halfway lap? Do you try to maybe split the race in 3s, which then you pit at 50? Or even 45 and a half, 46, 47, somewhere in that range? There's no 45th and a half lap scala. As Karlovage, Yoakum, Doy Woods running 14th, 15th, 16th. You see the 55 of Fuller back there in 17th. So 38 laps already in the books here. Everybody pretty close together, which is kind of shocking. Like the way this track is just so loose and slick. I mean, well, tight center and then loose off. But I mean, you got a little gap between 2nd and 3rd. Then you another gap down at 10th. Otherwise, everybody's within like a half second of each other. Go back here towards the 26th position. Stoney Benfield, Anthony Calantoni, Richard Beasley in this battle. Jose Gonzalez in there along with Brent Scott, the 33 car. I still don't know what this establishment is on the side of Brent's car, or maybe off the air. But that 33, see the 26 right here. And then the trans-service car of Glenn Campbell's worked its way back up. Sorry, that's Jimmy Coleman, actually, another trans-service car. Let's go up here to third. Tyler Dalton going to lose third. He has lost it to Mike Kelly, as a matter of fact, and now he has Larry Pace, John Schweiker, and a whole smorgasbord of cars ready to pounce. Scott Simley in that battle. You see Larry get a little loose. So just a one caution early on lap 2. Otherwise, been clean and green. McMillan got about 3/10 right now on Braxton, who's got 3 on Mike Kelly. And then it's back to these cars who fight it out. Dalton gives the outside lane to Schweikert, who tries to take 4th. And you see lap traffic starting to get into play here. Look at this. Braxton is here. Taking advantage of some of the slower traffic. Not able to get him yet, but he's there. This is bringing Mike Kelly into the battle now. He's within a half a second. Good short track racing here. That's a cool looking purple. I does like it. Max sliding up almost 3/4 of a groove, almost too high, but he should be able to diamond off the corner here. Oh, ho, ho. If he drives it in here, he might clear him. He does not. Rolls the center. He's going to get him here. He should be able to clear him. Lap car in the way. He got him. Braxton Ruiz to the lead. Oh, don't hit the wall now. The lead change right at lap 50. Larry Pace has fallen back to the 9th position here. You wonder if he's burned his tires up a little bit. He's got, of course, the 20 right there in front with J.P. Phillips. The 12 is Scott Simley. Kevin DeBrown has moved up. He's got the 19 of Dalton, who unfortunately is probably screaming for a yellow flag right now. back here for 24th. As Calantoni trying to get around Gonzalez. You see Jimmy Coleman's joined that battle. All of this is about 12 seconds behind the leader. I mean, right there should tell you enough of how loose these cars are in the straightaway. Did you see who was at the... I don't know who that was, but somebody got the outside wall on the straightaway. Literally. As they were just 3 wide here in the turn 1, the 19, the 93, and the 12. As this fight for 5th place continues. That was Sean Burke, by the way, that got that outside wall in that blue 01 car. All right, so if anybody was going to try a 2-stopper here, obviously they'd came to pit road by now. So let's go ahead and eliminate that process. So it looks like everybody's going to try to go about another 12 laps at least and come to pit road with 1 stop at halfway, or just try to run this car as long as possible, which you can go a good 80, 85 laps or so, I believe, on a tank of fuel. Or, of course, you get the yellow that you want, but these guys here are just, I think, having fun racing or either getting really irritated. One of the two. For second, here comes Schweikert. As Alan Wild, I think, just tried to go to pit road and missed it. Should mention, one of the tougher pit roads to get on is this pit road at Richmond. It is literally in the middle of pit road, or in the middle of turn 3 and 4, that you have to get below the line to commit to pit road. And I believe it's actually more generous on iRacing than it is in real life. Because I think in iRacing, it's at the entrance of the pit road, where in real life, you got to get to pit road in the middle of 3 and 4. See if we can get you. That's the other side. That's they're both turn 1 side. Never mind. I tried. Let's check on Tyler Dalton, who's fallen back to the 9th position now. JP Phillips and Larry Pace have gone by. You probably wonder if Dalton's going to be one of the first ones to come in. And if he's got an ill-handling car, don't want to torch that right front tire. As he and EJ getting together a little bit. Not many series you guys are going to watch during the week that have green flag racing at a short track like Richmond. You are seeing it here tonight in Sim500. The NC811 Xfinity Series. One of the biggest movers in the race. How about this 55 of Justin Fuller? Started all the way back in 34th position and runs in the 9th spot. Plenty of experience here at Richmond for Fuller in this series. Units. Super is right there. Of course, Unit's a storage unit type place for those curious. Seeing more and more built around the United States and stuff. So there is a car that is catching the leader, and his name is John Schweikert. We're going to have to keep an eye on him as he has got the lead down to 0.3 of a second right now, as we're 4 laps from the halfway point. As you see Braxton going by Doug Sigmund, and there's the one right there on his tail. How much he's turning that wheel. And then, of course, loose off from all the tight. All right, so let's get ready for pit stops here, potentially. Keep an eye out and see who's going to be the first ones to partake here as we get to halfway. Here's the pit entrance right there to the right, as you saw with the barrels and the cone. You almost have to lock the car down. As soon as you get into turn 3, you want to slow it down. And even then, with the worn out tires and brakes, you might want to slow down even further. As Fuller continues, fast pace now for position. Also gotten by the 29 of Phillips. And Brian Macklin, Chad Coleman going to be the first 2 to pit road. Macklin, a little bit of nose damage. As he and Coleman going to be the first ones to pit road. Fryery is in, the 17 of Kevin Stone. 4 fresh tires. As these guys are going to feel like Superman when they get out on the track. Watch how quick. I mean, you got almost 2 seconds. These times have fallen off here in these cars. As they're going to lose a lap as Calantoni, Jimmy Coleman, Wesley Donaldson on pit road. Donaldson actually leaving his pit stall, 14.4 for the 91. And Jimmy Coleman and Calantoni in. You see the leaders crossing by the start-finish line right now. Everybody will lose likely a lap on pit road, and if you're closer to the back, you might lose 2 laps. Schweikert about put the 1 in the wall, had to get out of it a little bit there. You see Jimmy Coleman leaving pit road. And Braxton's going to come to pit road and about. He did tail whip the wall a little bit there. That's how close it is and how tough it is. Oh, thank you for showing that to me, Mr. Dewey. Says Jimmy Coleman's back on pit road. Did he speed on exit? Comes to 5 in. That pole's in my way. 4 tires and fuel for the leader of the race. That should bring Schweikert to pit road, you would think. As 14.7 for Braxton. And did Coleman miss his pit stall? Because I know 16.6 if I could talk. Larry Pace going to come to pit road there in the 50 car. And this is what you're here to watch. Green flag racing on a short track in Sim500. You come to the right spot on a Sunday night. Appreciate the viewers watching here this evening. And if you're new to chat, you can hit the follow button and subscribe to the channel. Of course, get notifications of when we're on the air, which is pretty much every night of the week. As tomorrow night will be from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The old Atlanta, by the way, for the Cup Series. As here comes Schweikert to pit road. Mac McMillan having issues with the exiting Gerald Livingston. Mike Kelly on pit road also, and it looks like Kelly got by McMillan there before the pit stop. So Justin Fuller leading now. Yeah, you see Kelly's going to end up beating out the 88. Kevin Brown on the pit road. Looking to see when the Mike Kelly pass happened. Unfortunately, everything getting jumbled up now with the pit stops happening. All right, so Fuller coming to pit road now. You see Kevin Brown and Doy Woods on pit road. And that hands the lead to Scott Simley in the 12 car. Four tires and fuel for the 55. And some of these guys, Simley's very notorious for staying out, so I would not be surprised if he pulls this move. As here's Fuller. 4 tires and fuel for him, 14.6. Here's Carl Lavage and Stephen Miles in. Left side tires going on both of those guys. So they continue on. Simley O'Rourke, Dalton still on track right now, so he's going to stretch this run long. Randy Oakham actually going to try to pass the 19 right now for position. You see the fresh tires starting to come through the field here. This is where it gets really dangerous and can easily miss time. Somebody with the fresher skins. Sean Burke coming out of pit road. So it looks like I'm counting 8 cars who have not been to pit road, and here's one of them, Tyler Dalton. Here comes your pole sitter, Tyler Dalton, to pit road. Along with Doug Sigmund. Scott Simley also coming in now, so that gets us down to about 5 cars who have not been on pit road yet. As Dalton pulls away, 14.8. Kind of funny. Every time I mention Simley's name for staying out later, he usually comes to pit road like immediately, and he did it again. I don't know why that is. It's kind of irony. 15 flat for him. E.G. O'Rourke on pit road. That leaves us 3 cars now, not counting Mike Montesi, who have yet to come to pit road. O'Rourke is in, as mentioned, so that means Yoakum, Matt Martell, and Jose Gonzalez, and Brent Scott, the 4, I should say, that have not been to pit road, along with Montesi down in 25th. So obviously these guys going to try to play the long game here. And if they can get a yellow, they're going to make hay here. Problem is they've fallen so far back. You get somebody like Braxton DeWeese is only 5.5 seconds back from the leader. And he will be the leader once these pit stops are completed, as here comes the 8 and 51 to pit road. And tomorrow night, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kevin and I will be in the booth with you at 8:15 Eastern. Get you ready for the second race of the 811 Cup Series season. They just kicked off last week after the Daytona 500K. Mike Kelly again going to victory lane in that. So just wait on Jose Gonzalez, the last car. He and Brent Scott. And for my records here, you know what? I missed Glenn Campbell. So let's add Campbell to the list. So Campbell, Montesi down here 23rd and 25th. And then Brent Scott, and now Gonzalez is in. So Brent Scott, the only other car who's trying to steal some strategy here. And that's going to pass the lead over to the 5 of Braxton DeWeese. And look who's a lap down behind him. Tyler Dalton, after running long on his strategy here and kind of falling back with the worn out tires. He's going to be able to pass the 5 with fresher tires. But never thought I'd say Tyler Dalton, 24th right now, a lap down. All right, so while we get this all sorted out, let's take a break real quick, come back, and we will go through the field and show you who's running where as you're watching Sim500 from the Richmond Raceway on the Captain Esports Network.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Look out below.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, 45 laps to go from Richmond Raceway. It is the nc811.org Xfinity Series. As you see your leader right there, Braxton DeWeese crossing the screen. 1.2 seconds over the 1 of John Schweikert. And let's run you through who's running where right now. Let's do a little rear camage, a little different here. Why not? As Braxton leads John Schweikert right now, as John's going to pass the 44 Glenn Campbell. John 1.2 seconds back from the 5 car. There's Mike Kelly. Mike running in the 3rd position right now. Mike is 3.8 seconds back. In the 3rd position, Mac McMillan, who had a good start to the race but has fallen back into the 4th position. Mac is 5.9 seconds back and doing pretty good here so far in his debut of the Bully Dog Coffee Company car. The man of the race here, look at this, Justin Fuller, up 29 positions from 34th to 5th in 1 caution. Fuller might be somebody, if he gets a yellow, might be somebody to put up with at the end of this race. As we battle here for 6th with Macklin and Larry Pace. Larry trying to clear him and will. But Larry started in the 4th or in the 8th position, running right about where he started. Macklin up 16 positions from 23rd to 7th. As just all issues for car lavage. Looks like he had to make a save somewhere. And then we got a couple of WBD diecast cars. Kevin DeBrown running in the 8th position. Hashtag get the cat photo back out. 9th position to Wesley Donaldson. Having another great run here tonight. And there's JP Phillips in the 20 car, the Spider-Man. Chad Coleman up to 11th right now. Chad in the 38 car running 9 spots better than when he started. Now 8 because Scott Simley's going to go by him. Scott up to the 11th position. Bobby Gillenwater, 13th position, started exactly in that spot, and it's one of his home tracks here in Richmond. Joy Woods in the 14th position. Joy started 11th in the Davey Allison Special, which, by the way, is it today or yesterday I saw that would have been Davey Allison's 63rd birthday. Obviously, one that has missed on the track a ton. Robert Fryery to third. Good comeback for him after being involved in the first caution. He is up to the 15th position as he's worked his way back up through the field. Jason Karlovage, the SpeedwayCollective.com number 60. That's a fantasy racing website, by the way, for those who don't know. Nelson Rivera, as Charles Van Schaik is on pit road. Nelson in the 17th position right now. Stephen Miles, 18th position, started in 19th, or 17th, I should say. As he's, unfortunately, today is his initiation. He has had a fantastic start to his rookie season tonight. He's having a rough one, but he's fighting. That's what he does, as he is 18 seconds back, as Ejo O'Rourke just passed him for the 19th position. Kevin Stone, 20th position for the NC811 number 17. Kevin also 18.6 back, right behind Stephen Miles here, as he tries to get him for the 19th position. Anthony Calantoni on the struggle bus tonight, 21st for him. However, he's gained 11 spots, so let's look at the positives here. 32nd to 21st for the 84 car as he wiggles and says hello. Tyler Dalton. Not much more you could say. Started on pole, has fallen back to 22nd, and he fell all the way back to about the edge of the top 10 before pitting. He should have some fresher tires to use, but as you see, this track is not easy to pass when you get older tires. Another car that was running well tonight, that Virginia 811 car, Randy Yoakum. He was up in the top 10 all night, and now 23rd after his pit stop. See if he can work his way back up there. It's one of his home tracks here in Richmond. Jose Gonzalez, the 26 car, 24th position for him, started 26th. And Jose just trying to hold on here and get the best run he can. Richard Beasley, Super Speedway Series champion. Some say this is the Super Speedway of short tracks, but he is in 25th right now. Gained 10 spots, but struggling. Matthew Martell, the 51 car, down 11 spots, started 15th, back to 26th. All these cars here are a lap down, oh, by the way, that we're getting into. The last car on the lead lap is Calantoni in 22nd. Brent Scott, the 33 car, 27th right now. Stoney Benfield, there's the 811 man right there. 28th position for him for the faster pastor. Haven't seen his people on tonight. Hello to those if you get a chance to check us out. And there's Justin Reynolds, the Trace 3 00 car. Running there in the 29th position, Gerald Livingston is 30th. Jimmy Coleman had to make an extra pit stop. He runs 31st. And he's actually got the battle of Doug Sigmund here in a second for position. Doug in the Pro Systems Brakes car. Running 32nd. Eric Arnold, unfortunately struggling tonight with a beaten up car. He's involved in that first caution. He's 33rd. Sean Burke in the other Trace 3 car is 34th. Glenn Campbell involved in a wreck that didn't bring a caution out. He is 35th. Charles Van Schaik, 36th. Off the track is Brian Wortman, Mike Montesi, and Alan Wild. So there you go. We have went through the whole entire field and showed you where everybody is at. And let's take you to the first battle. Right now is Braxton DeWeese still leads by 6/10 as contact with Coleman and Robert Fryery right in front of us. Fryery goes cutting the grass. Somebody's in front of him spinning, and that is the 4 of Gillenwater. And there's the caution. There you go. I did it with everybody. I even went through the field. And we get the caution. Oh, with 28 laps to go. And everybody's going to be coming in for tires here. And this definitely worked out for those who short pitted more than it did the ones with the long run. As we see the caution here. And we'll cut to the leaders on pit road here in a second as Coleman and Fryery are going to make contact. Where Coleman gets loose, tail whips Fryery, and then Gillenwaters runs over Chad as Chad had to check up, and unfortunately, bam, into the wall goes the 4. I'm sure Coleman's not going to feel good about that. Spotter cam. There we go. Here we go. Race off pit road. Going to be won by DeWeese. Did Jose? Okay, no. Jose Gonzalez got the lucky dog. So, John Schweikert second. Fuller third. Mike Kelly, Mac McMillan. Fuller up to third now. Uh-oh. Remember I said the caution. If that were to come out, this man here in the 55 car might be somebody to compete with now. And that's exactly what we got. All right, let's get you one more look here from the crash cam. Yeah, everybody hitting that backstretch wall over there. Just from no grip on the straightaways. It's like driving on a dirt track. There's the tail whip right there. And then Coleman's trying to hold onto the car, and Gillenwater just gets into the back of him and hits the wah-wah part of the sign really hard. Things are going to escalate now as we are under caution. 26 laps to go. Here in the Commonwealth, let's actually step away real quick, come back and get you to the finish of this race as you're watching the 811 Xfinity Series on the Captain Esports Network.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are here at Richmond. Should get one to go this time by. .24 laps to go. A lot of cars going to take the wave around. Get back on the lead lap here. As we come to the green, I'm going to throw a special announcement at the end of this race out to the field, so you guys might want to stick around after this race as Justin Fuller spins the tires or something happened there. Big time gaggle in the restart here. What in the world? They're 3 wide, 3 rows deep at Richmond. Mike Kelly up to second now. And they're still 3 wide, by the way. We thought the 4 wide in Atlanta was impressive. As soon as we get it sorted out, I'll show the restart again. Something went wrong. And they're still stacked. Look at this mess. Luis with a 0.3 of a second lead over Mike Kelly. Mac McMillan third. John Schweikert fourth. And then this back here for fifth. All right, they sorted it out for a split second here. Let's go back and what in the world transpired here? Oh, a lot of wheel spin. Fuller spun the wheels. It looked like Schweikert spun them. I mentioned this track has no grip in it. Great save. Oh, even the 50 spun the tires. I mean, they're all spinning the tires here. Let's try it one more time here. Wow. And Simley got in the back of the 50 car. Very impressive by all these guys not to wreck that. So yeah, coming up at the end of this race, we'll got an announcement we're going to make. I just actually got a message from Joey Jatina, and we're going to share it to the world. As we check back here on a few cars that were involved, Larry Pace followed back now with Scott Simley as Stephen Miles in the battle here as he's worked his way up to 15th here, trying to get around these two damaged cars now. Ooh, into the wall hard. Ooh, is that Fuller? It was either Fuller or Donaldson just got the wall good. I think it was Donaldson. Laps to go from Braxton Deweese getting his first Sim500 win. And if he does so tonight, I believe he would become the 192nd winner in league history, unless that has changed from the last time I researched it. I'm proud to say I'm number 181, by the way. I'm sorry, he would be 198. So we've had a couple new winners since then. Four tenths on Mike Kelly. Kevin Brown's worked his way up to the 5th position. Back here, this mess is still going on. Oh, and caution. Is right in front here, the double of the 01. And Doy Woods has got a piece of it. Sean Burke has gone around. And that's going to bring the caution out. And this could get interesting now. I mean, I don't know if I should plant the big news on somebody right now or not. Yeah, I'm just going to wait till after the race. What happened to Burke? Out here running right in front of the leaders. Oh, Wortman gets loose down there in the bottom. And then the 01's up here against the outside wall. And he gets ran over by McMillan. Oh, no. Oh, and then Doy Woods clobbers him. Oh, and then Yoakum gets him. Unfortunate situation for Mac. A points leader. I mean, this is a spot for Sean. He gets up against the outside wall, and he's trying to keep it up against the wall after he makes the mistake there. But unfortunately, he pretty much is right in the middle of the exit lane. We got cars coming to pit road here for tires. There's going to be some people unhappy with that 01, unfortunately. So McMillan obviously going to get damage fixed. He'll be there for a little bit. It looks like maybe not. He said, throw a hood on that thing. Let's go. Miles, Calantoni, Campbell, Stone. Pretty much everybody from 14th on back have come to pit road here. And we'll get the green with 5 laps to go for the 5 car. So Braxton, Mike Kelly, John Schweikert, Kevin Brown, Justin Fuller. I think that Brian Macklin going to be your top 5, and Fuller will be 6th. These guys staying out on the older tires. The first car on tires is going to be back in the 14th position. As mentioned, Wesley Donaldson back here. Can he get to the front with those tires? Probably not. But I've seen crazier things. All right, going to come to the green. And we'll get 4 laps to go. As we get into the Geico restart zone here, and they'll get the green. Braxton spins the tires a little bit there, launching. Gets a pretty good start on Kelly. You're going to see the field really spread out here on the tires, I think. Oh, one car sideways back there. It's the 8 of Yoakum, and he's in the outside wall, and there's the caution. Randy Yoakum, Gerald Livingston. Hello, overtime. Back here, he's got Brent Scott to his inside. Oh, there's a little bit close to 4 wide at Richmond. Somebody requested contact with Martell in the 51, trying to hold on to it, and Sigmund just kind of says, just go that way. And Livingston just checks up there and keeps off the 8, and caution comes out. Crash cam. There's your 1, there's your 3. If Beasley would have stuck it in there, we'd have had our 4 wide. He just slides up into the 51. Tries to lock it down, and there's Sigmund to stick the 8 in the outside wall. As Charles Van Schaik will get the lucky dog. And we will go past our official lap number and hit Sim500 overtime here. Braxton going down to the bottom. That tells me something. Did somebody not put enough fuel in for overtime? He's literally taking the shortest way around the track. Well, if that was the case, he would have pulled down to the apron here in 3 and 4, so that's probably not the case. Aren't we all? If you haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast yet, you'll hear the jokester. But you can check out the podcast, of course, the Scalacast. Each and every week, Chad Coleman was on there just 2 weeks ago. So we talked about the Ironman of the series, over 1,180 starts. Going to be coming up on 1,200 quickly. Talked about Tyler Dalton as he gets near 200 career poles. And if Braxton can win this race, it'd be a winner number 198 in series history. A lot of big numbers in this series. And Chad Coleman, we talked to him about that a couple weeks ago. And you can check out that podcast. That one's episode number 6. Episode number 7 was released last week. And tomorrow's guest, well, you just have to find out. So here we go, back to green. Overtime number 1. We get 2 attempts at this. Don't spin the tires. Kelly leaning on Braxton. Good restart for Mike Kelly. Side by side, they're 3 wide in the back. Fuller pushing Braxton into the corner. And Mike Kelly's going to clear to the lead. White flag. And one car's spinning to the infield, but we're already past the white flag. Mike Kelly as the one as Schweiker gets turned in front of the field. Big wreck. Mike Kelly going to steal another one at Richmond this time. And DeWeese is going to fall all the way to 5th. There's carnage in turn 4. Right into the old victory lane. And Looks like he's got some quicksand issues there, but that's a whole other story for another day. Wow. Let's take a look at the results of that mayhem. Needless to say, wow, that was pretty crazy. Kelly wins it. Fuller ends up second with E.J. O'Rourke third. Kevin Brown fourth. Braxton DeWeese ends up fifth after, doing everything he could to win this race in the 5-car. J.P. Phillips comes back to sixth. Carl Lavage eighth. Of course, all this is from the mess that just happened on the backstretch. Justin Reynolds eighth. Brent Scott ninth. Stephen Miles 10th. Callan Toney finishes 11th. Scott Simley 12th. Schweikert 13th. Wesley Donaldson 14th. Charles Van Schaik 15th. As we look at the rest of the finishing order, Glenn Campbell, Jose Gonzalez, Nelson Rivera, Randy Yoakum, Brian Macklin, Robert Fryer, and Tyler Dalton ends up 22nd. This race is going to hurt him in the points a little bit. Larry Pace, Mac McMillan ends up 24th, a lap down. Kevin Stone, 25th. Chad Coleman, 26th. Matthew Martell, Richard Beasley, Stoney Benfield, Jimmy Coleman, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, Eric Arnold, Sean Burke, Doy Woods, Brian Wortman, Bob Gillenwater, Mike Montesi, and Alan Wild. And I'm pretty sure that 5 is going to be pretty upset with the way this race transpired. Looked like it was going to be a battle between he and a couple cars, and then the caution comes out for the Sean Burke and Mac issue in the front straightaway, and then the caution that goes to overtime. And unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We'll talk to Kelly here in a second. We've kind of gone back to the traditional way of interviews in streaming, and that's mainly because I've been confusing a lot of people apparently with it. So we'll talk to our third place finisher first, so on and so forth. As E.J. O'Rourke was ripping the top side of the track and got it to work out for him, finishing here in the third position tonight in the 41 car. EJ obviously ran up there close to the top 10 most of the night, right on the outer edge, but things worked out for you and you got yourself a third.
Yeah, I ran top 10 the entire night. In the pit cycle there, I pitted late, so I was coming from the back late. Still thinking if it weren't green, would have finished sixth, but I got to tell you, this unit's portable storage, Toyota Camry number 41 was real fast tonight, so I was looking good up there.
Yeah, you were running, for a little bit, you were running a groove that was very EJ-like. And then everybody went up there. And talk about the fighting, especially as the tires got old. That long run, obviously, you played a pivotal run.
Yeah, it's tough to try to keep this car on the bottom and make passes on the bottom unless you're 195 laps into a run. I like right at the top. I think it fits well for me. I think it drives really good up there, making runs, and third place is really good. I'm really happy with that. Fuller, I thought I was going to have a chance to win there with Fuller, but third place is good. Congrats to Mike Kelly. It was a good race.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, great job finishing in the third position tonight in that Units Supra. Send a shout out whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, just got to thank everyone here at Units. If you ever need a portable storage, contact Units. And this Toyota Camry, or Toyota Supra, was very fast tonight, and I'm just excited to be here. It's a good league. It's a tough league, and I'm sweating after that one. It was a lot of fun. Congrats to the winner, Mike Kelly, and third place. I like talking to you. I would wish it was a couple spots higher.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, and I was kind of curious of how tired you really were. So, but I think you answered the question.
Well, it doesn't help that I'm fat. So if I worked out a little bit more, I might be better off.
Welcome to the club. Anyways, good job, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You too, buddy. E.J. O'Rourke finishing in the third position, and don't we all feel like sometimes we could knock a little LBs down, especially me. Let's get him to, he's in the waiting room, isn't he? Yeah, let's go there with him. Justin Fuller finishing in the second position, the biggest gainer in the race tonight. Started 34th, and during the green flag run, worked yourself all the way to the top 5. And then that caution come out, and what's the first thought to come to your mind?
We got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I thought there was a chance if it would have stayed green because I was shipping away 2 to 3 tenths a lap anyways. But yeah, that gave me a chance, and then I stepped on it on that restart and lost all that track position and kind of thought it was over at that point. And then we had a restart there, and a couple guys got together, and I ended up restarting 4th and had another chance there at the end. But I just got to take what I can get at this point because I'm behind on points, and I got to make up a lot of points to try and make the playoffs. So good points day regardless.
Was there an issue in qualifying to put you in the back, or just a
Uh,
choice?
yeah, we may have stepped on it in qualifying too. So it was not a choice. I can promise you that. I feel like if I would have had a decent qualifying run, qualified top 5, on that long run, I think I'd have been long gone because I was chipping away 2-3 tenths a lap still. At that point, I was just so good on long run tonight.
Yeah, it's just a matter of keeping those tires underneath you, huh?
Oh, 100%. These guys were dying on the straightaway. I died a couple times on the straightaway. It was just all about managing the throttle and putting lap times together. Basically, is all it was. Everybody migrated to the top, and I stayed committed to the bottom, and I just kept picking them off one at a time. And I think I got to 3.5 seconds behind the leader at that point when their pit stop started. So we were going to get there, I think, but just needed it to fall my way a little better. No cautions. I think it would have been fun. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened anyway, but it is what it is. We'll take a clean car out of here and head to Talladega next week.
There you go, man. Well, great job tonight. Send some shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, thanks to you put on the broadcast. Thanks to Joey Gattina and Sim500 and all the admins. Thanks to NC811.org for sponsoring the series. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to everybody in the race. That was a really great race. We had 4 cautions for 144 laps.
Mm-hmm.
That's 40 cars on the track at Richmond. That's a great race. So you can't get too mad at that. Really wish I would have done a better job in qualifying, but that's all right. Congrats to Mike on winning the race and capitalizing there on that final restart and getting it out front. Congrats to my teammate EJ O'Rourke for getting third. And thanks to Trey Edson for always keeping me looking the best on the racetrack out of anybody else. So yeah, looking forward to Talladega next week. It'll be a crapshoot, and hopefully we walk away with a clean car there and a decent finish.
That'd be cool, man. Well, great job. Yeah, you mentioned the caution. I'm sure we'll have a little fun down in the chat with the big wreck at the end there, huh?
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, buddy. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Justin Fuller finishing in the second position. And let's get our winner up here. As I'm trying to think of a name, a nickname for this man, the way he steals things. Poor guy steals a win from a rookie. But you know what? Mike Kelly, you earned it, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations on going to victory lane tonight.
Are we not entertained?
Oh, it was slightly entertained. You did good.
Yeah, just a little bit. I took every trick I had out of the bag there for that last race restart there, last restart there. And I think the old man put a little bit of a schooling on him there.
Yeah, you definitely did everything you could. Talk about the restart because you were right up against him, and he spun the tires a little bit, but you were able to shoot off and be right there with him.
Yeah, I've spent a lifetime on these restarts, and the one right before that, I started in third gear because earlier in the race with pretty fresh tires, it was edgy starting in second even with fresh tires. So when we came up to that restart, the tires were pretty fresh, but I just decided to go in third. It worked okay, but then when we got that last one, I was like, I got to try to win this thing. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to do the timing trick that I know here and there and put it in second gear. And like you said, I try to time it to where I just get rolling a little bit before them. Then out of your peripheral vision, when you can see or hear them get on it, you get on it, and that kind of evens you out. So he spun his tires just enough to let me get into turn one dead even with him, and it was all over from there. So I just wanted to get through those corners and get ahead. There's a lot of wolves behind me there, so I wanted to make sure I got into three coming for that checkered flag really good and deep. And don't give a guy like EJ an inch, and you'll be in the wall backwards before you know it, especially coming for those checkered flags. So it was a great race, exciting race, very few yellows, and I guess I did kind of steal that one, but I felt, I was in it the whole race, but I definitely have the winning car, so I was kind of upset that we got those yellows there at the end because I felt I had a decent finish stolen away, and because anything could happen on those restarts.
Right.
You run up front all day, then you end up at 30th, but worked out good and thrilled to pull another W into Turn 1 Heroes.
Trying to think here for a second because didn't you have a restart win last season too somewhere? Where you just pulled something out of your you-know-what and won that race too?
Yeah, I think I did. That's
trying to remember where it was. So off the top of my head, I'm like, man.
This old man still got some cat-like reflexes.
Well, let me break something to you. I was handed a note just a little bit ago, at about 15 laps to go, and I was like, maybe I should, you know what, I'm going to wait. And I think you really just made this interesting because Joey Zatina reached out to me with this note. And he said, basically, as I look at this website here, my man, you've been named to the 2024 Hall of Fame for Sim500.
Yeah, I heard something about that. That's pretty cool, man. Very, very honored. And it was a vote. And, you know, I told Jody, where'd I come up with that? I told Joey last year when I was nominated
Jolene?
for it. Yeah, Jody. Sorry, Jody. And I told him last year when they just put two people in and they put one up for the vote. And I was like, Joey, you realize if this is a vote, I'm never going to get voted in from a vote. But lo and behold, much to my surprise,
we voted you in.
And I got voted in, so I'm thrilled about that. And I mean, the group that I'm in with and the group that races in this league that could also be in the Hall of Fame easily is pretty astounding. But it's a great group, and I'm honored to be in it. So thanks for letting me know.
We got to go edit the article now because it says with 37 wins to his credit, now 38.
Yeah, and it also says I won the 2023 Daytona 500, so we can't step on Macklin's toes. We got to get that.
Yeah, it's true. We'll get that part fixed. But yeah, obviously, 2017 Cup champion and over 900 starts. So obviously, Mike Kelly, congratulations to you on getting into the Sim500 Hall of Fame, along with Trey Eitzen and Pedro Mojica, the three drivers that'll be into the 2024 Sim500 Hall of Fame. So congratulations.
What a crew. Yeah, I've had like 6 or 7 championships here at Sim500. Unfortunately, only one of them in the Premier Series. So I got to step it up, I guess. But no, I just love racing all the leagues here, and it's a lot of fun.
10-4 Kyle Busch. Anyways, send a shout whoever you like to.
Special thanks to NC811 for everything they do here at Sim500. And special thanks to the Captain Esports Network. Feeling a little spoiled. Honored and privileged to getting to talk to you almost every week, every broadcast now. So I can get used to that. Special thanks to everybody at Turn One Heroes. Poor Chuck. Things just got to turn around for Chuck, but he still came back from 2 laps down late and had a good finish. Scotty drove through the mayhem there at the end and got a decent finish. Thanks to all the admins, Randy Yoakum stepping up tonight to admin, and all the sponsors of Sim500, and all the racers put on a good show tonight. It was pretty amazing to have that few yellow flags. So great race, great league, and special thanks to Smoking Hot Wife for letting me do that.
There you go. And you can go tell her you're in the Hall of Fame now. So great job.
Man, thanks a lot.
You too, buddy. As Mike Kelly goes to victory lane tonight, now Hall of Famer Mike Kelly going to victory lane here tonight. As I don't know if they get a colored jacket or pants or something. I don't know. But we'll let them figure that out later. As let's go back, because we have not shown the replay of the last lap of the wreck that took place here. But all you know what broke loose over in turn 2 when the one of John Schweikert spun around in the middle of the back straightaway. And give me a second, I should have this queued up. But when I got the news from Joey, I wanted to jump into my phone and get that broken out. So let's see where all this happens. I mean, this was a huge wreck. I mean, I could hear it. Matter of fact, that was a checkered flag. So there must have been 2 wrecks or something. I don't know. But either way. All right, so here's the white flag as they're coming to the finish here. And where is Schweikert? Ends up 13th in this. So here we go. White flag. You see Simley. He goes for a spin on his own back there in the front straightaway. And they come through 1 and 2 here. And Macklin's going to hook Schweikert, it looks like. And carnage. And I mean carnage. I mean, it's literally run over everybody and get to the green checkered flag as quick as you can. Let's get you a better view of this. Blimp cam. Not often I used a blimp for a replay. But tonight it needs to be done. Right there, you see Macklin gets loose, hooks the one. And from there, we have a track blocker. Wait a minute. Simley just made a highlight video for me. Holy cow, did they... I hope Coleman and them see that. All right, let's look one more time here. Let's get let's go rear chase from the one. And then we're going to show you Scott Simley's on board. Oh my gosh. Leslie Law from a series on Friday nights made a highlight reel for a move like this once, and we just found another one. Holland! Well, I mean, that's one way to do it. All right, on board with the 12 of Scott Simley. Yes, this is the same Scott Simley that is going to do a self-spin into the infield here off of the front, off turn 4. Watch this. Oh, he's actually not going to self-spin. He gets doored. Lazy spins here. Going to save it. Everything's good. And you hear right there he hesitates. Somebody's pieces go flying. Scott's like, I'm not checking up. Coming through. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me. And finishes 12th. Now let's compare. Would Scott Simley been in that final wreck? Let's investigate this one now. All right, so Simley is next to, is that the 17? Yep, the 17 of Kevin Stone. So the question, does Kevin Stone get involved in the wreck? Because likely Simley's right here. Miles getting loose below Dalton. Pretty safe to say yes, and now Stone goes for a ride. Everybody's trying to get back. Oh. I have a new highlight. This is awesome. I like it. So there you go. Scott Simley, congratulations. You have put yourself in some interesting moves there. All right. That is going to do it. Actually, let's get you your point standings real quickly here. As, again, next Sunday it is Talladega Super Speedway, as Justin mentioned. So we'll see you there at that race next Sunday night. Of course, tomorrow night we're at the Old Atlanta Motor Speedway, so hopefully you'll join us, excuse me, for that race. That'll be at 8:15 Eastern Time. Shout out to Braxton DeWeese, who actually had the highest driver rating tonight at a 128.1. Unfortunately, it's going to go for Nod with the issues there at the end of the race. Quality passes tonight goes to Kevin DeBrown with 15. Closing passes to Robert Reynolds with 18 tonight. So nice job on his part. That's basically passes at the end of the race is where that comes down to tonight. So big shout out to those guys for their big finishes. Mike Kelly leads the points officially now by 14 over Anthony Calantoni. Stephen Miles moves up to 3rd. Mac McMillan falls to 4th. And Braxton DeWeese up to 5th after 7 races. And it is all of 50 points separating 1st through 7th right now. And let's get you a visualization of that. Get you the top 25. The bubble spot right now, Nelson Rivera sits on that. And he has a 1-point lead over Kevin Stone now at the bubble position in the Sim 500 point standings. So Still plenty of racing to go. 13 races before we even get to the part. But, of course, as we get closer and closer, the pressure picks up. And obviously from there, it becomes anyone's game. As there's your point standings right there. So, Mike Kelly leading by 14 now after his win here at the Richmond Raceway, which, by the way, is his second win of the season. Of course, he won at Daytona earlier this season. And congratulations to Mike on the Hall of Fame nod. We're out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.